Good day. My topic today is freedom is captive. The world is moving towards dictatorship, human and new technology. As an introduction, I say, with the tyranny of populism and COVID-19, it seems that people are not interested in shouting the demand for freedom and the sacred slogan in the French Revolution of 1789, nor reading on liberty of all freedom by John Stuart Mill about freedom in 1859. In other words, COVID-19 unveiled the spirit of unconsciousness of political authority. I will not enumerate the list of dictators in the ancient or modern history, and these are all you will find in paper or electronic history books. But here I am interested in fashioning out contemporary dictatorships. This fad appears in the context of the era, or more precisely, in the context of the third decade of the 21st century, and the dictatorship intended here has either existed in the democratic way of the beginning or imposed itself by force of arms, as in some backward countries in the world. As for the context of the period, we can focus only on our current stage, where the COVID-19 epidemic health crisis has spread. The government in the world treated the world with a compelling pretext. They concern the security and health of the society and the people. Governments placed people in the national cage and deliberately suppressed the freedom of movement and acted on the blockade. Then it moved to impose opinion, decision, or authority in the broad sense. The matter is not hidden, because reprehensible has appeared to the public, I mean human pleasure in domination and imposing opinion, and here I mean whether the imposition of one opinion by one person or by language of the ruling groups that embeds a single collective opinion and behaves as if it is one person. And dictatorship here we see is scandalous and direct and leads to suppressions of individual freedom and the suppression of the freedom of society and the people as a whole of society and the people as a whole under the same pretext, preserving the security of citizens, and it is better for them to confine of their homes and not to gather to go right and left. We move from the issue of suppressing freedom to another related issue. I announce the imposition of censorship of all means of communication, especially social media, etc. It can be said here, by the way, the Arab world is in the foreground, that is very deficient in the real-time censorship of all social media. Much has been written, especially articles on these topics, and many intellectuals have also been alerted, but in the grinding crisis of the deadly epidemic, which killed millions and also infected millions, as the number of deaths due to the epidemic reached nearly 3 million in the world, and the threat still exists. Statistics related to the outbreak of the coronavirus in the world conducted by the French New Agency showed that the world had recorded 3 million virus deaths. As the Saturday morning, the number of deaths increased again in April compared to the slowdown last March, reaching 12,000 deaths by day. The great name, now the threat of dictatorship, the great game. Many governments have played on the premise that life is more valuable than freedom. Consciously or subconsciously, she exploited this intuition and cries out loudly to preserve the lives of the citizens and to not compromise of the matter and let freedom go to hell. And this is what happens. The sacrifice of freedom resulted in a disturbance in the status of the democratic system that the West is proud to establish in politics and society. Here are short paragraphs from some writing on the subject of, especially in French language, and record them in translation below. You all know that freedom was the highest of holiest in existential truth, especially in the second half of the 20th century, and in words of the well-known French pioneer of existentialism of Jean-Paul Sartre. Today, things are completely different. Dictators see that the demand of freedom is a kind of intellectual and social luxury, which is an obstacle to achieving the security of citizens over their life and way of life. It is imperative to limit its spread in the social media and among the media. This is what was alluded to by the writer. For example, I would like to refer here to mentioned reference only and consider the general ideas presented by some writers and to refer to the details of the reference for those interested in the reading. I mean, this is for further reading. Now, just for your information about my further reading, how authoritarian are exploiting the COVID-19 to grab power in the case Roth. For authoritarian-minded leaders, the coronavirus crisis is offering a convenient pretext to silence critics and consolidated power. By in April 16, 2021, with the state demand that social network censored by Douglas Blair. It is in the magazine of the Contrepoint, and the state instructs social media to legally restrict, etc., the free exchange of ideas with the law if necessary. All this reference, just for your information, are in the magazine of the Contrepoint, FR, in reference. You get it on your net. Perhaps what is Rose? Then all that is in China. What is China is world? China, the world factory, did in the matter of comprehensive oversight, ce qui plaît peut-être aux dictateurs, c'est ce que la Chine a fait de ce qu'elle appelle le Big Brother, c'est-à-dire la fabrication des caméras de surveillance placées dans les rues de n'importe où pour la visualisation visualisation, tout ce qui souffle et déchire, ou déchire dans les rues de la Chine sera fait de ces caméras dans des millions et au prix chinois. Perhaps what is worse that all this what China, the world's factory, did in the matter of comprehensive oversight. This is the manufacture of the surveillance camera placed in the street and anywhere for view. This is a translation of my text that I said now in French language. Anything the below and trips of the street and China will be made of these cameras in the millions and at the Chinese price. How do you watch an entire nation? China's innovative ways of suppress the freedom of its citizens. You got this article in the Al Hurra website, August 8, 2020. Conclusion. We are facing what can said with dilemma, meaning life, freedom, and history that was always walking the two paths together, because the enlightened through the resist dictatorship and tyranny does not accept the slavery of power, but the absolute majority of people prefer to die for freedom and set freedom as a condition for survival. Finally, the question is, if we accept the loss of freedom in favor of the progress of dictatorship, and after the end of the COVID-19 disaster, will freedom return? The answer, you answer. Now, some further reading for your interested, if you are interested, I mean for your culture about my topic, for further reading how, for example, how authoritarian are exploiting the COVID-19 crisis to grab power by Kenneth Roth. It is April 16, 2021. It's a new article. Okay, another one, when the state demands that social network censor, the state instructed social media to legally restrict the free exchange of idea with the law if necessary, and by Douglas Blair also, and the Le Contrepoint. How do you watch an entire nation? This is a very important article. How do you watch an entire nation, China's innovative ways to suppress for freedom of citizen? It is only free translation. It's Washington, August 8, 2020. Now, let us move to a second level of suppression of human freedom, and this time coming from digital or in a broader sense than all technological progress, which will be our conversation in the next episode. Finished. A goodbye. See you next time.